Hello, Internet! So my first rendition of filming this intro was quite frankly terrible. Basically, I'm going to show an idea of how to create a zero waste version of cup of noodles or ramen. Basically, kind of how to put those ingredients together in a not flavor packet form so that it doesn't have all the trash that comes with it. I've seen some people that are just like, oh yeah, dehydrate all your vegetables. No. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got the resources for that. I don't have a dehydrator. This is a dehydrator-free recipe. You can usually get from a bulk store some rice noodles, maybe some ramen noodles, or another kind of Asian noodle that will work in this. The best thing that you could do for it being zero waste would be to actually collect your vegetable scraps enough to make your own vegetable broth. Realistically speaking, that's not gonna be what happens all the time. You're probably going to need your own sort of vegetable stock, whether that be a powder or some sort of paste. Today we're using a paste that does come in a little jar. I do reuse the jars. I haven't found a bulk way to get the broth base though. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Also, my office at work only has paper plates, paper bowls, and plastic silverware. So I'm gonna show you kind of an idea of my little zero waste compartment in my desk for my silverware. And I just wanted you to see a very similar setup that I have at my desk. It's just chopsticks and mismatched silverware, odds and ends that you have lying at the house. You don't need to get a fancy kit. Wrap that up and keep it in your desk. Something else, if you don't have fancy chopsticks, we inherited these. You can get just the chopsticks at your local Chinese restaurant. They might just throw them in the bag when you say you don't want them anyways. Nobody says you can't reuse these. Just soap and water, make sure that they dry in a dry place, that they dry immediately. You don't want these things sitting in the dishwasher. You want to hand wash them and let them wipe them off real quick and let them dry out on a towel so that they don't stay in a wet, dark place, because that's when they're actually going to start to mold. So here I have some rice noodles. They're not zero waste. I just need to get rid of these. Here we have a silicone muffin cup. You can use pretty much anything that you can just put a liquid, freeze it, warm it up, and tap it on the back to pop it out. That's what we used to do with like a metal muffin tin when my dad made chili. Here is an ice cube tray that's also silicone. That's a good method to use an ice cube tray if you're making something smaller. Here we have 2 little mushrooms. I like mine very mushroomy. 2 scallions, chili paste because I like mine spicy, broth, vegetable broth, miso paste. It is very rare to be able to find this zero waste. Okay, so this is just a teeny tiny little pitcher. I think it's actually part of a tea set to put cream in. We're just gonna take the vegetable broth, like a little bit over a teaspoon. There's about a little over a teaspoon of water, about a teaspoon of miso paste. And voila, it is magically frozen. Now you just make sure that the noodles are submerged in the liquid broth so that it's actually cooking.
This is the footage of the intro that I filmed last time. Like I said earlier, it was just so terrible that I deemed it more sensical for me to mouth out awkwardly at the end and do a voiceover. I'm also going to add a couple Instagram pictures at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.